In 2022, Joya Mooi released a new album, What's Around the Corner, on which she delves deeper into life's big as well as small matters. And on the self-reflective album, she addresses themes of spirituality, personal growth, social awareness, and interpersonal connection, and includes the earlier released album or single, which is Did Enough and Roselle. Joya, very good morning to you and welcome to CapeTalk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You made it through the traffic.
I did. It was a challenge, but I made it.
Chat to us about how you started out in music.
Oof, that I started out long ago, actually. Both of my parents loved jazz and they played trumpet and they sung a lot in the house. And I think when I was 12 or 13, I started taking vocal lessons and played saxophone. And I think years later only, I started writing myself, but the start has been in my youth already.
Mm. And what was that journey like for you when you started out, and when did you come to a point and decide this is a career for me? Because I bet when your parents being in the musical industry or being, very, very big jazz people, you go to them and you say, I want to be in music. They said, please go get yourself a job first.
Please get a job. But they also really do what you love, because both of my parents were very politically active and they also felt the need to say that to their kids, follow your heart, follow your passion. So, but it was hard to really make a career out of it. I think only in recent years, in 2 or 3 years, that's been happening for me. And it's taking a lot of perseverance, but, I'm glad I made it.
Mm. Combining your South African roots with the Amsterdam characteristics of your native soil, how did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, it's in my blood. I'm Dutch and South African, so it feels like I can't really escape both worlds. I feel like I belong in both cities, in both countries. So, yeah, it's just part of me.
And that obviously impacts on your music, because do you write separately, or do you take, for instance, your South African stuff or your African stuff through to Amsterdam and say, I play it for them? Because music speaks the language all over the world.
Yeah, I think so. It's a blend. My music now gets played in Indonesia and the US. I think especially people who have dealt with feeling like they couldn't belong or didn't belong, and dealt with identity issues. I think those are the most people that draw to my music, because I feel it's like a universal tale.
Mm. Chat to us about your music, because your latest music and a lot of your music brings about personal growth, social awareness and spirituality. How do you tell that story in song?
Yeah. I think I just try to write a small song, write about a specific subject. For instance, with Roselle, I really focused on a flower that I found in my grandmother's kitchen. And I tied it to the slave trade. And I think those kind of subject matters can be really eye-opening for people, because things that we use in our traditions, we use in our daily routine, they still have attachment to history. And I like to be poetic about things. So it comes naturally, I feel like.
And how often do you travel? I mean, do you travel most of the time, or do you try to stick to South Africa most of the time?
No, I'm spending most days actually in Amsterdam, but two times a year I'll be in South Africa. Yeah, when there's no pandemic, of course.
What was the pandemic like? Because the industry that was the hardest hit, the two industries that were really the hardest hit in South Africa, was the restaurant industry, number one, and secondly the entertainment industry. And a lot of artists at that particular time decided and knew they had to pivot, which means they had to do something else in order to just stay focused and come alive. What did you do between 2020 and 2021?
I just locked myself in my room and made a home studio and created music. Luckily, I was in the Netherlands then, and there were a lot of opportunities to benefit when you're an artist. So I still had some of an income and could create at home. So I was very in a privileged situation.
Where did the income come from? Was it just income basically from the government?
Yeah.
Did they
supporting
nice.
artists. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Instead of here, we want to put up arts and culture people want to put up a 22 million rand flag instead of supporting artists. And I think that is so essential for any country, is to grow the artists, to be able to take care of the artist. I know that my son-in-law in New Zealand, he's a rap artist in New Zealand, so he gets $10,000 from the government just to make his videos. And I think that's the kind of support that we need. Chat to us about why you are here, where you are performing, what will be happening over the next few days.
I'm performing tomorrow at Gorgeous George at CBD, and I'm doing a very special show with my guitar player and a DJ from here. And next week I'm in Joburg, Pretoria, and Balfour to do shows, festivals.
Chatting this morning to Joya Mooi in studio live with us, and she's performing in and around Cape Town as well as in the rest of the country. How much of your music is R&B? How much of your music is jazz?
I think certain songs are more pop, more hip hop. Like I feel like my generation of artists don't really like see genres or hear genres. So it's all a fusion, I feel like. It's
strange because we had an interview last week also, for instance, whereby I was chatting to somebody on Saturday morning, and I also said, what kind of genre of music do you play? And people have moved away from that. People are in a free space when it comes to music, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think any culture thing that you're doing music, doing fine arts, like I don't think you have to feel like any boundaries or limit yourself to a category. So just make what comes naturally and do you. Yeah.
And what does the year ahead look like for you? I mean, where else will you be performing except in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, and in South Africa?
This year I'm performing in London, in Paris, Rotterdam. I am doing lots of shows, so I'm very excited for it.
Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you so much for joining us this morning, and all the best. We hope to see you pretty soon after you've toured the rest of the world. Come back to Christmas. Come to us for Christmas and New Year. There's nothing better than Christmas.
I know, December.
December, yes.